Hi, I'm Cam, the sound guy from Calm Body, and today I want to run through how to play a singing bowl. We'll do some basic techniques and then move on to more advanced stuff and things that you can actually apply to really any instrument. Before we start playing this wonderful bowl, I always like to be relaxed and in a neutral position, whether that's standing or sitting. The less hand contact you have, the better. So I like to have just a flat hand, still in a relaxed position. Because if I do hold the bowl, this is without. You can see there's a big difference in resonance. And with the striker, a lot of people call this pencil grip. And once again, you're holding it quite gently, just firmly enough so you've got control. The best way to get a bowl to sing is to strike it and then apply pressure around the rim. Like any instrument, I always like to start gently. It's good for the instrument, it's good for your ears, and it's good to get a sense of how softly you can play an instrument, because then that helps with dynamics, being able to play it softly, play it loudly, and really anywhere in between. So I'm going to strike it pretty much just at the top at a 45 degrees on the rim, quite gently. And then just softly, I'm going to apply the striker at about that 45 degree angle as well. And as you play it, you are going to get feedback. You are going to feel that vibration. And you can change how loud it's going to be by applying a little bit more pressure and also increasing the speed. But you got to be careful, because if you go too far, you can see here I'm almost starting to force it. You can feel that, you can hear that chattering. So depending on the sound or the emotion you want out of a bowl, I like to just hit that sweet spot, which is before that chatter starts and when you're still feeling relaxed. You can move on to just using friction to get that bowl singing. So I'm going to gently start. It takes a little bit more patience. That's going to come up quite nicely. And a technique that I like to use when I'm playing multiple bowls is a combination of those two. So it's a strike into the friction. A bit of a softer tap. Might do it a little bit louder. You can see that comes up straight away. So it's really good if you want multiple bowls singing at once, especially if you're performing. So that's the basics of playing a singing bowl. And with any instrument, I like to explore it, and especially in the sound space, I really feel like there are really no rules when it comes to instruments and how you can play them, especially if there's a beater involved. So we've used the felt tip end. You can also use the wooden end. Slightly higher pitch, a few more higher dynamics, and yeah, definitely a bit of a different sound. Not only can you strike to begin with, but to add texture and interest, you can play different parts of the bowl. The great thing about these hammered bowls are the rim, well, the whole bowl is going to vary in thickness. So depending on where you strike it, there will be a slightly different sound, and that can really add, just a lot of colour to your playing. And not only can you play with the felt tip end, but you can also play with the wooden end. I'm generally very careful with this. And depending on the shape of the bowl, you'll be able to play at different points as well. This one you can definitely get to halfway, and even a little bit under. We started playing on the rim. You can also play down the bowl as well. And also with different parts even of the striker. So especially with bigger bowls where you do get that chatter, that feedback, where the bowl is vibrating a lot. This technique that I'm showing here, where I'm just using the bottom edge, can really help get a consistent sound without too much difficulty. You can move up all different ways. And we don't only have this striker, but we have a mallet too. And these are great for getting a bigger sound without the harshness that you might get with that striker. So once again, I always like to start gently. Just get a feel for what that sounds like. And then I can apply a bit more pressure if I'm exaggerating that move. Like that, and especially for big bowls, and if you want to get a big resonant sound with a lot of sustain, mallets like this are really good, a much softer sound. And as I said before, there's really not a lot of rules, I think, with these instruments. So if you've got fingernails, you can play. You can experiment really with anything. So your imagination is your only limit, really. And I encourage you to have fun with it, experiment, do some crazy things, as long as no one gets hurt. I think that's about it. Reach out if you've got any questions, and make friends with your singing bowl.